Hello, everyone, and welcome to the season 2 finale of Starting 11. I'm Adelia. That's my buddy Snark. The Premier League season is over, and we're here to talk about the final weekend, which saw Manchester City crowned champions again, and I absolutely hate it.
Crux.
Yeah. How you doing today, Snark?
Crappy.
I imagine so.
They couldn't give me a week. All right.
We'll get to that.
Drives me nuts.
We will get to that.
Yeah.
I want to say hello to my mom, who is in the chat. Hi, Mom.
Hello.
So
Bonjour.
yeah, the Premier League season. The Premier League season has come to an end.
That's it.
And we have how many matches to talk about? I think it's 12.
12 matches. Two take place in the nether world of having makeup games done just before the final day, because everything on Sunday starts at the same time, so there can't be any impropriety or anything like that.
Yeah.
So we'll go. Just to even talk about what happened this week. It just like the entire bloom comes off the rose or whatever after what happened today. Oh, I was excited. Anyways, I'll even talk about it more. Yeah, it's not even what happened. Okay, I'll go on to this. We'll go on to this. How about we just go on to what happened on Wednesday? So Man U takes on Newcastle. Chelsea in a weird spot. It would be great if both sides could just lose for us, but it's an advantage for us, like for Chelsea, if Newcastle loses. They have to go to Old Trafford, and as you know, Old Trafford can be a tricky place. Not for you guys this year. Maybe for Chelsea, but first off, I would just like to give a thank you to Eric Ten Hag and his entire squad for playing like they actually gave a shit on Wednesday. They're playing like they could actually care what happened or not. I guess Bruno Fernandes came back. I guess it's a thing for them. Also, maybe Casemiro's best game in a United shirt.
I mean, it's not a high bar.
No, like the best thing he did in that entire match was just to go up to pick that ball off the line, which I guess is a good thing. But considering he's a midfielder, what was he doing so far back? That was crazy. So whatever. Onana wasn't terrible either. So yeah, they win 3-2. It's a big deal for Chelsea because now with a win, Chelsea playing at the same time. A win by Chelsea puts them in control of their European destiny, Adelia. That's a big deal. That's a big deal now for Chelsea. Remember when it was if we don't win the Premier League, then it's not a great season at all. Now we're hoping to go into, the European, what is it called? The
Europa Conference League.
Unbelievable. Well, we may not have gotten into the Europa Conference League, Adelia. Maybe something else happened. But we'll talk about Brighton, Chelsea. And ever since Chelsea went to your lovely stadium in North London there, got thoroughly embarrassed, slapped around, 5-0, something I might not ever forget. Chelsea has looked like a much different squad, a much better squad. Couple of things. One, folks coming back from injury, maybe that helps. Also, maybe a certain $100 million midfielder having surgery and having to miss the last 5 games was actually a bit of a plus for us. I don't like to think of it that way, but without Enzo, they've looked much more cohesive. Caicedo has been phenomenal throughout the last 5 games. I'm sure I'll talk more about him in the next match, but we'll talk about this one first. We're going to talk about VAR stuff in a second. There was plenty of stuff to go on about VAR in this one. Chelsea get a penalty called for them VAR takes a look at it, and it looks like Buonanotte does actually hit the ball before taking down Jackson. I thought he was kind of rough on Jackson, which they could also just call the penalty for. He didn't have,
Yeah.
like, it doesn't matter if he touches the ball first. But okay, he touched the ball or whatever. They decide, no, that's not a penalty, so that's fine. Next, Jackson getting called for a phantom push. And the announcers are all over it, like he actually two-handed shoved this guy and stuff. I'm still waiting to see his arms even extend. His arms may have been on the guy's back, but there's no way that was a push, and there's no way he got leverage off of that. Very strange call not to actually just call that down and stuff like that.
I agree.
But we'll talk about what does matter, and that's Cole Palmer. It seems like he can score any way he wants now. It's fine. Pretty remarkable header for a goal. They're just that soft lob, even with a bit of spin on it and stuff like that. Pretty remarkable stuff. Oh, one thing I also want to notice or whatever. Mark Cucurella has become a huge pest, and I'm here for it now. He's played a lot better since he's had this attitude. Like, I don't want to, strangle him with his own hair anymore. So that's good. He got into it on the sidelines with the coach on Sunday. This one, he gets knocked around. He's booed the entire game. Him and Caicedo, two Brighton guys. It's like, guys, this is the reason why you can afford beer at your stadium, because they sold these guys because they aren't doing anything else. We got to talk about what happened after this game with the match or two. Anyways, how about speaking of VAR? How about Tarek Lamptey allowed to knock out Misha Mudryk in the center of the
This
pit?
was insane.
How was there no conclusive evidence? He left again. He didn't play the next week either. He's out. He was basically out for the season because of this. He was knocked out cold because Lamptey put his shoulder into his face.
Yeah. I don't know what they saw there that made them think that should not have been a red card. I mean, that was crazy.
It's bananas. Back to the game. Christopher Nkunku has come back from injury. He gets a goal. That's nice. Of course, Reece James comes back from injury. He came back for 19 minutes. Adelia,
yep.
He gets taken down, and it's a bad tackle. It was a yellow-worthy tackle. Yes, of course, there's no call. It's getting towards the end of the game. It's at the Amex. They're not going to yellow card. It seems only Chelsea gets yellow cards. So Reece James decides he's going to go and kick out at this guy for no reason. He's been on the pitch for 19 minutes. After missing 5 months and after only making 9 appearances for his club that he captains the entire season. So, at first, I think he got a yellow card. And then, of course, VAR saw this one. There was evidence of this one happening, Adelia. But this one was pretty blatant. This one, you just go,
blatant.
What are you going to do? We know that it was coming or whatever. So, straight red card. So, Reece James gets to miss the season finale. He also gets to miss the first 2 matches of next season because it's a straight red. One thing you can say, at least for Reece James, is that he's used to having the time off.
I find this hysterical.
Unbelievable.
I know you don't, but I find it hysterical.
It's unbelievable. Good thing we have Malo Gusto. Malo Gusto's been good for us. Yeah. How do you, as a professional, how do you just lose composure like this? I have no idea. It's not like,
I don't know.
Unless he was going after like his knee or his hamstring or whatever's been bothering him, and that really pissed him off. That might have been the case. I don't think he's had an interview since or whatever to talk about it. So we won't know. We won't know till he says. But yeah, it's a lack of judgment on young Reese's part. Anyways, Danny Welbeck gets one back for Brighton. That's only his first goal at home the entire season. So it doesn't matter. Chelsea does move to 6. And if we beat Bournemouth on Sunday, it guarantees Chelsea a European spot. It's just where will it actually be? Because of this weird Man United, Man City FA Cup final, where
Yeah.
if United win, they go into the Europa League, I guess, and they would bump us back up to that conference league. So,
Yeah.
anyways, the two big news stories after Wednesday, and that's Wolves uh, asking to scrap VAR. They've brought it up. It's going to be an official point at the next governors meeting. Doesn't look like it's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen. No.
Doesn't look like it, especially since they all just unanimously voted to do some changes for it and put the assisted VAR assisted for the offsides, and so it's going to be automatic offsides. I like that I like that they're making them talk about it. That's one thing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you can see, like it works. It works in the Champions League. It works in other leagues. It just doesn't work in England. It's because the people using it suck. They suck.
Yeah.
They suck
The
at their
referees
job.
are awful. Yeah.
They're
What's up,
horrible.
Brennan?
Hello, Brennan. Yeah, they're horrible at their jobs. There's not much VAR can do about that. The technology is there for them to use. They're just really bad at it, and they don't want to upset their friends. That's why
Yeah.
they can't be the referees that are match day referees involved in VAR. It can't happen. I don't understand what's going on here. It's crazy. You can't.
Yeah.
There has to be a little bit of thing where you can say no, that's not right. Is it going to happen? No. I think it's written to the FIFA laws that they have to be a certain level of referee to do
It's
this.
so stupid.
Ridiculous. Almost as ridiculous as Anthony Taylor reffing a Chelsea match on the final day. But whatever, it wasn't so bad. It wasn't so bad. It was just when I saw that on the thing or whatever, I was quite upset. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Next,
Yeah.
In the first bit of manager news about a manager leaving, Roberto De Zerbi decides he's had enough of Brighton because he's done so much for them. He really has.
Yeah.
Well, they made it to the. They made it into. Were they in the Europa League this year?
Europa League this year. Yeah, they were in the Europa
First,
League.
they made a European, competition. Of course, not many of the players on that roster were his, and they were following a style that was set up by another man. But he did get to take credit for them actually making it there. And then this year, he guided them to, I believe it's, an 11th place finish. So,
yeah.
Good job, Roberto De Zerbi. Sorry, I almost got sick in my mouth because there's talk about that. Well, we'll talk about it at the end. We're going to talk about this at the end.
I haven't heard that yet.
There's all kinds of talk. Anyways, I just wanted to mention that De Zerbi leaves Brighton. He announces it after the match, so he doesn't have a walk of thanks or anything like that. He doesn't have a glory lap or whatever. There, he just leaves. So turns out he might not be an easy guy to get along with when it comes to the offices. The guys in the back, how would he fit in a certain club with some owners and stuff like that? That don't seem to be very good with the people that they hire either, because they just want too much power. But anyways, we'll talk about it now. Anyways, let's go to the Sunday matches. Let's finish this. Let's finish this strong, Adelia.
Yeah.
Palace finished strong.
Palace finished very strong. They did not want the season to end, especially Jean-Philippe Mateta did not want this season to end.
Nope. Hat trick for Mateta. Villa wasn't playing for anything. I don't even know if they're playing for. They got their fourth place finish. They had starters out there, and they weren't all starters and stuff like that. One thing I thought was fun was that Unai Emery had his kid on the bench for a goalkeeper.
Yeah, I saw that.
I thought that was fun. It's like, why didn't you put him in? It was 5-0.
Yeah.
Get him in that. Abreki Eze's 2 goals, of course, were also good. Now,
Eze was great. Got himself into the England squad, I believe.
good for him. He deserved it. Yeah, other guys like Ivan Toney get in there. Anyways, well, he deserves it more than or Marcus Rashford. I can tell you
Yeah.
that. So Michael Elise, after all the drama in the past off season, almost joining Chelsea, comes back. Palace give him this huge contract. Everything's fine. It looks like he's leaving this summer. There's a very good
Yeah.
chance he's going to Old Trafford. Also, Emi Martinez for Villa looks like he might be on the move as well, which is kind of
Martinez, who is
surprising.
apparently the best goalkeeper in the world. They said that again in commentary.
Because they want to. Yeah, guys, they give everybody in football an award. Everybody
Yeah.
gets an award. Oh yeah, I didn't even mention the young player of the year. Of course, Cole Palmer in the Premier League Player of the Year. Your pal, haircut, Phil Foden.
And don't get me started.
Well,
He's not my friend.
wow,
I can't
wow.
stand Phil Foden.
Yeah, he's just awful
Stand
looking.
him.
Like I said, he always looks like that one guy from that pal of Draco Malfoy's in
He does.
Harry Potter. Ugh, whatever. Like on the what is it? The team or whatever that he's on. I can't
The
remember what it's
Quidditch
called.
team.
Quidditch team. So, congrats to Ollie Glasner. You must say he's probably not going to get much consideration for coach of the year, manager of the year, but
Manager of the year's already been announced. It's Pep.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Surprise, surprise. You win the title, you win that. It should not have been Pep.
You know what? And he had to overcome so many odds. He was
so much.
Yeah, like all this hidden money, and he did it though. He managed to make it through. Anyways, it's whatever. Yeah, Ollie Glasner deserved to be in consideration for it for sure. I don't like this. I don't
Ryan
like that
in the chat saying, "I love Phil Foden. Who the hell is Phil Foden?"
Phil Foden's the guy that's going to burn down your house for me. That's who you is. God damn it. So, anyways,
goodness,
he needs some money. He probably needs money. Did you? Oh, we'll talk about this after. Anyways, Roy Hodgson. I guess maybe it was time. It was time to go, Roy. So good job for them. 7 wins, 3 draws, 3 losses for Glasner in charge. They also scored twice as many goals as they gave up too. It was just a different team when Glasner comes on. Did a great job.
He did fantastic.
Next, speaking about fantastic jobs, I'm just Brighton again with a lame duck manager, and Man United. United get 2 goals late. Delow and Hoyland.
Yeah,
they had to finish in 8th spot though. United.
Their worst ever Premier League finish.
Yeah, they're gonna have to hope for some for a win in the FA Cup. They're gonna have to hope for the hangover that City players, I'm sure, will still have by the time the FA Cup rolls around after seeing the pictures from their partying on Sunday. I don't know why they were partying so hard. It's not like it was actually ever in debt for them from the very beginning of the season. So, anyways, Brighton is I don't know who goes to Brighton for a manager. Of course,
I don't know either.
Missing Matoma for that much of the season hurt though.
Yeah, they really missed him.
Yeah. I forgot to mention, Man U also with a negative goal differential. The first time in 34 years that happens.
They were so awful this year. I don't even know how they finished as high as 8th.
Yeah, it's they were awful. They were awful.
Look, you and I both hope Eric Ten Hag stays there and keeps this up. But there is no way that he stays there, right? They're not. Jim Ratcliffe and whoever's running that club now cannot possibly keep him.
There's a very good chance a recently unemployed manager ends up there, which is another thing. That's crazy, and not the Zerbi. Anyways, who cares? Yeah.
Yeah.
This is all. Hopefully, this is all the downward slide for
Yeah.
United. This is something they deserve. They deserve this, guys. They deserve it. Okay, let's move on. So the final spot in the Premiership up for grabs this weekend. To say that Luton, was a little tough. Um,
Yeah.
uh, Maybe is an understatement. Had to win. Forest had to lose, and they had to make up there was a 12-goal difference, so they had to make up 13 goals to do
Yeah.
it. It was going to be tough,
Next to impossible.
especially with Chris Wood scoring in the second minute and again
Yeah.
in the 14th minute to make it
Yeah.
15 goals. It was
Yeah.
over. It was over 15
Yeah.
minutes.
2-0 Forest within 15 minutes.
Yeah,
Like, there was no way.
no,
Or 2-0
yeah,
Fulham. Yeah,
yeah,
and then
2
Fulham
nothing for
also
Forest.
went up
Yeah,
2-0.
nice goal by.
So,
It was a nice goal by Traore. It's nice to see him score again.
yeah, it was
Uh,
great to see. It was his first ever start for Fulham, which I found odd.
Yeah, it's it's been odd just to see him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
After seeing him so much with Wolves last year, and then just thinking like, and me thinking like, I like to like just the sheer size of this guy. How is this guy not playing more? But and he could score goals like that. Strange,
Yeah.
but
Very
uh,
strange.
Fulham's a strange club. Willian, and it's probably his last game for Fulham. I don't know where he ends up. I don't know if he goes back to Brazil, maybe, but he has the skills. Like he looked good. He still looked good this year for Fulham. He still has what it takes
He
to play in
did.
the Premier League.
He did.
Maybe there's three other teams going to come up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All of which won't have the stain and the stench of Fulham Football Club. I can tell you that right now. All of them,
Sure.
even Leicester. Yeah, well, Leicester's close. It's close. So, anyways, yeah. uh, Carlton Morris gets a goal on the penalty spot, or whatever. Bene was taken down, but yeah, they couldn't do much. Harry Wilson gets the last goal. Makes a 4-2 for Fulham. Luton's done. Forest survived by the skin of their teeth. They survive points deductions. They still hold on. I don't think they made many friends
No.
with whistles, especially with friends with whistles. I don't think there's many of those. The VAR guys, I'm sure, aren't big fans of
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
either. Who do you look for sticking around in the Premiership for Luton? They got some guys, but do they want to sell too many? This is such a.
I don't know. I think Ross Barkley's definitely staying in the
I've heard
Premier League.
I heard he's going to. Yeah, I heard he's going to Villa, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Like if he's in Villa, he's on the bench.
Yeah.
So yeah,
We will
there
see
again
about
three
the
other
rest
spots.
of them. We'll see
Yeah,
about the rest of them. This was the first time that all three newly promoted teams got relegated in that first season since 97-98. And Nottingham Forest avoid relegation with 32 points, a record low for a team that's avoided relegation.
yeah,
It's not great. The bottom half of the table this year just was terrible.
yeah. They weren't any good, and at least Luton had something to them. They could score
Luton
goals.
were fun to watch
Yeah, and it was great
because they
watching
could
matches
score
at the County
goals.
too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss
Matches at the
that
yeah,
stadium more
that
than anything else.
yeah, the stadium was definitely unique. But yeah, uh down they go. We'll talk about Sheffield United here in a minute, I assume.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Also, just back to the other match or whatever, and Forest beating Burnley 2-1. Vincent Company getting looked at from Bayern. What is
That's
that?
surprising.
What's happening here?
I
What is
don't know.
happening here?
Is there just so much of a lack of quality coaching out there right now?
There is a yeah, and I've heard it more and more. Now there's a Argentinian around if he wants to go to Bayern or something like that. If he just wants to continue this lateral movement he's been doing, I guess lately.
Yeah.
Anyways, speaking of coaches, being free to go wherever they want. But this one I don't think is going to do much. Finally, Jurgen Klopp
Finally.
has managed his final match at Anfield, and oh, it was an emotional "You'll Never Walk Alone" being sung before this match. He gets them into the Champions League again.
Yeah.
He's
They
won
they
everything
did.
for the clubs that he can,
He has, yeah.
except for Europa League. I don't think he ever
Yeah, he
won the
didn't win the
Europa League.
Europa League. No, he didn't win the Europa League.
Yeah.
Um, this was a very long, drawn out goodbye to Jurgen Klopp to the
hmm
point where I'm just glad it's over.
Yeah.
Like,
Get out of here.
like
I
get it
will
out of here.
not miss his teeth. I can tell you that. His
No.
teeth annoyed me every single time I saw him. Every single time. They look like cartoons. They look like Roger Rabbit. You know what I mean? Like there's all this human stuff going on, and then cartoon teeth on
Cartoon
Jurgen
teeth.
Klopp. Yeah.
That's
Also, it's fun to think that the week that Wolves asked for VAR to get scrapped, they get red carded via VAR in the first half.
yeah.
Alexis McAllister. I didn't like it. Like I didn't know. I didn't like what he did. I'd say, yeah, sure, that's a red card, but you have to red card everybody for doing that, and it just doesn't happen. That's what people get upset about, guys.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
what people get upset
consistency.
about.
You need consistency. So, yeah, get rid of him. Of course, it's Alexis McAllister who's going to score the next one as well. So, whatever. And how's this for trivia? Who scores the final goal? Yeah, for Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp? Is it Mo Salah? No, it's
No.
Jarell Quansah because he kind of took Mo Salah's goal away by touching it at the very last second. He's
Yeah.
trying to put his hands up. He's like, ugh. But actually,
Yeah.
he probably needed to. The defender was right there and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, a victory for Klopp. He can leave. He can go back to Bavaria or wherever he wants to go to now. He's got money. He can set up his own dental clinic if he'd like.
I don't think that's going to happen.
He could if he wanted to. Now, hear me out. If he wanted to, he could, invent his own style of toothbrush and be the most successful toothbrush in the world. It's like you want
You're just fixated on his teeth, aren't
you
you?
want Clopper choppers.
I
Clop
did
brand
see
toothbrush.
that he, the man who has for years said how much he hates social media, joined Instagram, so he can keep in touch with the Liverpool fans.
He could
I
have
was
done
like, "Are you
worse.
sure you want to do that?"
He could
Are
have
you
done worse.
He could have done worse, but I was just like, "Are you sure you want to do that?"
Yeah.
But yeah.
Ugh, all right. Okay. Moving on. He isn't even the biggest legend to leave the Premier League on Sunday. We're going to get to him in a minute. First, Newcastle needs a win to keep up with Chelsea, to have a chance of overtaking Chelsea for that at least a Europa League spot. They do end up getting the win. They win. They beat Brentford 4-2. Tony
I
has
thought
that
this was
goal.
a pretty good game.
Yeah, Tony had that goal taken away from him in the very beginning. I thought it was pretty close, but
Yeah.
Harvey Barnes gets a goal. Jacob Murphy, and what a pass by Alexander Isak to get that ball to Murphy as well. And he looks like he's exhausted. He passes it, and he just doesn't even celebrate. He just has to go, and he has to walk that much further to go celebrate or whatever because he kicked it across goal or whatever to him. So Newcastle wins, puts pressure on Chelsea, although they didn't know it. One thing, Arsenal needs a striker.
Yeah.
They've been talking about this for a while. The big rumor coming out today was Alexander Isak to Arsenal. If you guys could manage to get Isak, it would be a wonderful, much more than an Ivan Toney would I would imagine, stuff like that. Because a place like that, Isak can do other things other than score.
Yeah, I would definitely prefer to have Alexander Isak than Ivan Toney, but we shall see.
Yeah, they had that Brentford team had so many good guys up front. Wissa, they had Buma, they had Tony, and still just a 16th place finish. And yet, again, Thomas Frank is talked about for high profile jobs. I
Yeah.
don't understand it. I
I
just
don't
don't
understand
understand
either.
what anybody has to do with Thomas Frank, frankly.
Yeah,
Okay, come on.
they did not do well this year at all, Brentford.
No.
I mean, they
Maybe
finished what, 16th?
they finished
They didn't
16th.
even hit 40 points. I mean,
No. Any half decent club coming up at a championship, these guys probably should have been relegated, but what are you going to do?
yeah.
What are you going to do? Now, we'll go to Chelsea. Okay. First, if Chelsea wins, they guarantee a European spot. Now, it's going to be either Europa League, which they've won a couple times, not,
Mhm.
just saying, but also that Conference League thing. The only trophy in Europe we haven't won. So if we're in that, we're winning that. It's basically, might as well just hand it over. Chelsea finally have gotten it together. They're playing like a pretty good team. They get a little bit of help to start this match, though. Neto comes back. Neto hadn't been favored since April 21st. I think he missed 6 games in a row or something like that. Maybe a little rusty because he runs out well out of his crease, almost halfway between his box and the midfield, just to take a chance away from Raheem Sterling, which looked like it was going to be a good chance. Still Raheem Sterling, who isn't great on the break. You should know that by now, Neto. Anyways, he takes it. He controls it. He didn't just kick it away. He controls it, then kicks it away, and then Caicedo just takes one step over center, and puts it in the net. I think they said it's the 7th longest goal in Premier League history. Not bad for your first as a Chelsea member, although you played the entire year. Moises and cost 100 million bucks, 150 or 115 million
Yeah.
pounds for God's sakes. But he's been terrific over the last 5 games, and defensively we've looked better because he's doing his job in the back end. So I was very happy for him. I think the entire club was very happy for him. He seems to be a pretty popular guy. Now, after that, a guy who seems to be popular among his teammates, maybe not so popular among the fans because of his outlandish salary, £325,000 a week he makes. Raheem Sterling, the aforementioned Raheem Sterling, gets a break in on net, coming in from the wing and just puts it through Neto. So it's like, oh yeah, this is why Neto hasn't played in a month because he's
Mhm.
no good. It doesn't matter if he's the captain or not. He looked terrible. Uh, After that, Bournemouth come right back down the field. It takes less than a minute for I think Kirkesh kicks the ball at net, and Badia Shield decides he won't get in front of the ball. He'll just stick his foot there because deflections can't happen in football. But wait, it
Not
does
at
happen.
all.
It does happen
Yeah,
this time,
it does happen.
remarkably, and it goes in the net. 2-1. So they hadn't started. They didn't start Dom Solanke in this game. They brought him in an hour
Yeah,
into the
that
match.
was weird to me.
Yeah, I guess he had a little something niggling or something like that. They said, well, he can't play 90, but why not 30? So he comes in, changes the game. He was
Yeah.
fantastic for them, except for when it counted.
Yeah, he could
And
not finish.
in the 4th minute of extra time, in just a scramble, and Petrovic lying on the turf, Solanke the ball and the net all to himself, and he puts it 10 feet over the net.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, not the best day of goal scoring for Dom Solanke, but he was
no,
fantastic for Bournemouth this year.
19 goals, and maybe should have had more appreciation for Player of the Year because for a lot of it, get to do it by himself as well.
Yeah.
I think he was incredible. Good job for you, Dom. Don't keep it up next year, or keep it up. Just there's a couple of matches a year you can hold off on if you like. You can have another match like you did this time. Areola, really good job managing the club. They fell to 12th. I think they had a chance at a top 10 spot. They flirted with the top 10 this year. I think for them that's good. I think they've only had one top 10 finish since, was it 2017 or something like that? I think they had a ninth place finish or something like that. So now after the match, and if you decided that you were going to put money on a 40-year-old guy making a 50-year-old guy start welling up with tears at work, you would have been a winner, because Thiago Silva's goodbye speech to the fans was heartbreaking for me. It was great to see the kids, great to see his wife out on the field. It's great to see the banner come back up, everybody singing his name. He's, not the best with English. He struggles a little bit with English, but you got the feeling of what everybody he wanted to say and stuff like that, and just telling everyone he loves them at the end and stuff like that. Ugh, my gosh. Thiago Silva was a great player, guy who was only ever supposed to be there 1 year, fell in love with Chelsea, fell in love with London, stayed there 4 years. His kids are going to be staying in London. They're part of Chelsea's program. They're part of the youth program that they have at Chelsea. So, and his, I guess his dream is to have his kids play for Chelsea one day. We'll see. They already look so big. They look so big already. Like he was the monster, but he wasn't. He was a huge man, just so smart, and you did what he said. But these kids look like they're going to be big. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what the Silva family does. Also, I guess people leaving. We talked about it. And announced today that Pochettino, they say it's a mutual decision to go. I don't know whose decision it was. It doesn't really matter. But I gave Pochettino shit all year. Yes, we scored goals. We scored way more goals than we did last year. We were so leaky defensively, and everybody kept getting injured. That's got to be somebody's fault.
Yeah.
Supposedly the training regimen wasn't great, and you hear it from two different sides. Either they trained way too much or not enough. So I have no idea what it is. Chelsea's becoming so damn dramatic lately. It's been driving me nuts. There should only ever be one goal in Chelsea. That's winning. Now, to think that they're thinking of bringing up a bright young manager to coach Chelsea.
Who on earth could that possibly be, and why do they think that's a good idea?
These guys want a fairy tale. Like, honestly, these guys are Hollywood guys. They want this lovely story and stuff like that. It's like, why don't you do this to the Dodgers or the Lakers?
Yeah.
You want some kind of story like that? Get rid of LeBron. Get all the best young kids you can get. Get a hot new young coach. Do that with the Lakers. Not Chelsea damn football club. Are you out of your mind? Like Michelle Genovese, like that kid from Leicester that they brought in or whatever, because he has a possession based program. Like, that's what we want to be. Do we want to be possession based? What? It's just passing the ball back and forth. We saw that last year. We know how to pass the ball back and forth. You got to pass the ball forward to score. That's the whole deal.
Yeah.
You have to go forward to score, and you have to be able to get guys back and defend. That's football. I don't know what these guys are doing. And they're talking about maybe that guy from that Kieran, what's his name, that's running Ipswich Town as well.
Ipswich Town that just got promoted?
Yeah.
They think they're going to get their manager?
Yeah, because he promoted them from second division or whatever it was to championship to premiership in 3 consecutive years, right? So there's like, oh, he has that arc or whatever going up and stuff like that. Saying, what? Chelsea, it's Chelsea. So also, of course, there's the Ruben Amorim. They know that he's interested in stuff as well. Of the people they're talking about, that's most palatable, because the other guy that's being heavily talked about right now is Roberto De Zerbi, and I would still my club.
Yeah.
I'd have to support him, but I would talk shit about him behind his back all the time and on the show. Don't worry about that. Okay, so okay, so we'll move on. Chelsea did have a chance at possibly nailing down a Europa League in fifth spot, but turns out Spurs only had to play Sheffield United
Yeah.
at Bramall Lane. Good news. Probably the last time we'll have to see Bramall Lane for a very long time, unless it's like the
Yeah.
FA Cup or Carabao Cup or something like that, because
I-
they were terrible.
Yeah, I have said multiple times this year that they reminded me of the worst team that's been in the Premier League since Derby County.
Yeah.
So I went and looked and see if they were actually the worst team that's been in the Premier League since Derby County. And they ended the season on 16 points, which is the same amount that Huddersfield Town got in 2018-2019, which is still a mile better than Derby County's 11 points in 2007-2008, the worst team in Premier League history.
Awful.
Yeah.
But we didn't have to talk about them.
There's only 6 teams in the Premier League's entire history that have gotten less than 20 points in a season. Portsmouth did it in 2009-2010. Aston Villa, the year they got relegated in 15-16. Huddersfield, Sheffield, and Sunderland got 15 points in 2005-2006. But none of them are as bad as Derby County.
Yeah, well, they were all, well, even still, Derby County may have actually been more, actually in the fight. Like, how do you give up 8 goals at home, 6 goals at home, 5 goals at home?
Yeah.
3 goals at home on your last day, and only 1 shot on your last day in the Premiership. 1 shot on,
they were
and you only had 24% of the ball. It was terrible.
They were so terrible this year. I'm really glad that we're not going to have to watch Sheffield United again next year.
Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out, Sheffield. Beat it.
Does Chris Wilder keep his job?
Does he just leave? Why would he want that job? Well, there might not be another one better for him. They're going to be they'll be a middling championship club. That's what they are. Yeah. They just had a remarkable end to the season or whatever last year. So, all right.
Wes Fotheringham is leaving that club. Where do you think he goes?
Does he start anywhere?
I don't think he starts anywhere.
Yeah, like Chelsea, I know that are looking for a keeper. It wouldn't be him. They already have him. You know what I mean? They have Roberto Sanchez. So, yeah, I don't know where he goes. On the bench, you still make more money probably on the bench in the Premier League than you would in the Championship, so it wouldn't matter to him.
Yeah.
What else? MLS? Is there the money there for that? Who knows?
Maybe. I just don't see him being trusted to start anywhere, even though I don't think the majority of what went wrong with Sheffield United this season was his fault.
No, they couldn't score and they couldn't defend. So
yeah. Yeah.
They're two of the more important phases, I would imagine. They couldn't do it whatsoever. So bye-bye. Okay, well, Spurs, they were fine. Kulusevski with 2 goals. Pedro Porro the other goal. What happened to Son Heung-min? Like what?
Yeah, they said he scored 17 goals this year. I couldn't tell if that was all in the Premier League because I don't think it was.
I think that's all competitions. It would have to
be.
You would have to say so. Anyways, you ready? 2 matches to talk about. 2 matches. League title up for grabs here.
Hang on. We got DWeezy, co-host of Betting the NFL, in the chat saying we are 1 step closer to Ryan Reynolds dominating the Premier League with Wrexham.
I was gonna say, who's he gonna buy? Is it Wrexham ain't gonna
I don't think it's gonna be Wrexham, but they should be good next year in League One. I can't imagine that team getting all the way to the Premier League, but we would have said that about Luton too, so who knows?
Yeah, well, Luton didn't come from basic nothing or whatever all the way up. Like, again, if you want a Hollywood story, go watch that. Don't do it.
Luton was down in the National League just like Wrexham was, so it kind of did come from nothing.
Well, yeah, I guess so. I guess you're right. All right, so you guys need a win.
Mm-hmm.
You need just a result out of West Ham. How did you feel when you heard Jared Bowen can't play?
I was like, oh, well, okay. First off, I went into this fully expecting Man City to win. I
You know,
wanted us to win, but I fully expected Man City to win, so I wasn't super disappointed. I mean, I was disappointed, but I wasn't like
you weren't.
distraught.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
the Jared Bowen's not playing. I was like, okay, now they're definitely gonna win because I don't know who all else on West Ham is gonna score enough goals to beat Man City in the form that they're in, which they didn't.
Nope.
So yeah.
Yeah, it didn't even. They couldn't even defend. Only took 2 minutes, I think, to take the wind out of
Yeah.
Arsenal's
Yeah.
sails. Phil Foden getting one, gets another one only 16 minutes later. Uh, well, it just you guys. It took so long for Arsenal to get going.
Mhm.
That goal by Gay, uh, you know, Declan Rice takes it off his face and in. So I don't know how they don't consider that an own goal. There was no way
I
that
don't
was
know how they
going
didn't
in.
consider that an own goal either.
There's no way that was going in if it doesn't go off Rice's face. So,
Yeah.
anyways, but
Anyways, we were the game against Everton was 0-0 for so long that I was just like, can we just win the game? That was all I wanted at that point, was
yeah,
to win the game. Then of course, Everton scores and it's like, oh, of course. Come on. Like, we can't do this. Tomiyasu gets it back to level terms like 3
hmm
minutes later. Great to have Tomiyasu play in this game because he missed a lot of the season and I think he's really important on the back line.
sure,
Um, and then Kai Havertz gets the winner with like 2 minutes left in regular time. Fine.
yeah.
It didn't matter. I just
VAR check, a
the
little
game.
VAR check, just to
Little
get you a little
VAR
angrier.
check. Yeah. Just
I was gonna say that goal by Mo Kudus was pretty good.
that was phenomenal. That was a
Give you guys a little
phenomenal
bit of
goal.
give a little bit of hope there on
Certainly
the
gave the
lasted
people at the Emirates a little
15
bit of hope,
minutes.
but because not everyone at the Emirates got the news that it was 2-1 at the same time, it sounded in the Emirates like there was two swells, like West Ham had scored again and it was now 2-2, but it wasn't because it was just other people getting a delayed reaction to Mokuda's goal.
Yeah, people watching it on their phones or whatever, and then the
Yeah.
official thing going up on the board, I'm sure. Yep. So, yay, City cheat their way to the championship once again. Uh,
Yeah.
you just think, well, yeah, like you guys dropped what was it, 5 points since Christmas, and still couldn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, uh,
The week of Christmas, I've decided, is when we really lost this title because we lost at home to West Ham and then we lost at Fulham that week. And if we have either of those results go differently, this could be completely different. I'm not even like blaming the loss on the 2 minutes of madness against Villa or the because we hadn't scored a goal in that game. We needed to score in that game and that didn't happen. And then the 0-0 draw with City was always going to be, I think, a draw. At I don't think we were ever
yeah,
going to win that game. So it's that week of Christmas that's going to haunt me for the rest of my life. But you know, it is what it is.
I was thinking,
We go again.
I was thinking back to October and that 2-2 draw with Chelsea.
Yeah, that also was not great.
Oh, just thinking about that one goal. Who scored that? Some Ukrainian guy looked like he was going to pass the ball and just kept curling and
Yeah,
curling. That may have just cost you the championship as well. So maybe you guys should have been nicer
maybe.
to Mudrik.
I think we were plenty nice to Mudrik. Thank you.
Yeah,
Derek saying latency with broadcast is a pet peeve in gambling circles. I bet. But yeah, we finished second again for the second year in a row. We're closer this year. It didn't
yeah.
end, and we took it all the way to the last game of the season. Even if it was a very minuscule chance that we were going to win, it still went to the last game of the season, and there's not a ton more that they could have done.
You guys did everything you could.
Yeah. The fact
100.
that we would have had to have been practically perfect since Christmas to win because City didn't lose after like December 6th or something insane like that. is just crazy. And I think that's not the way it should be. And we know how everybody feels about Manchester City unless you're a Manchester City fan. Everybody knows they're cheaters. Everybody knows about the 115 charges for financial fair play regulation violations, and everybody knows that nothing's going to happen to them.
Nope. Even if they win those charges, even if the Premier League, and I don't even know if the Premier League would even consider it a win. City would just appeal this thing until everyone forgot about it anyways, and nothing will ever happen. Nothing's ever going to happen to Spurs or to City. Nothing. Never. It's a joke. They can set up shell companies and give themselves sponsorships from companies that don't even exist. They hide money. They hide money for coaches. They hide money for players. I'm sorry, Stefan Ortega is a backup. Come on. How much money do you think he's getting paid? This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Yeah. So, anyways,
it's not ridiculous, but it is what it is.
Pep has brought them together. This ragtag group has done it again.
They overcame so much.
Gross. Yeah, disgusting.
DWeezy saying, do y'all follow any other leagues? I'm a Liga MX fan. I kind of sort of follow the MLS. I don't like it, but I do. And then I pay attention to some of the other top European clubs, but not so much the leagues as a whole.
Yeah. A little bit of France, some Germany, just because it's on TV here as well. I have to pay to watch the Premier League, so we get the Bundesliga here, so I can see actually a lot of that. I like Liga MX, but I don't get to see any of it unless I'm really searching it out or watching it and stuff. I got to see Club America play. I thought that was fun. I tried to give their fans a bunch of Chelsea flags. They were not interested at all. So there you go.
We get German League and the La Liga on ESPN Plus, so I watch that a lot. Serie A is on Paramount Plus, so I can watch that pretty easily. I can't watch the French league.
No,
I think it's on beIN Sports, and Club America is Derek's squad. Cool.
There you go. I saw them 2 years ago.
But I don't have beIN Sports, so I can't watch them. So
yeah,
it's getting easier to watch the other leagues, though. I will say.
I'd like to see more Championship. To tell you the truth,
Championship is also on ESPN Plus, so I can watch the Championship. Yeah.
Yeah, not for me. And also, I'm at work on Saturday morning, so it's so hard for me to catch any other leagues, anyways. So, hopefully, we're hiring somebody this week, so hopefully that'll change very soon. But I think that's it for us. That's it for the season.
Yep, season 2 of Starting 11 is complete. We will be back in August with a preview of the next season.
Yeah.
It seems like a long ways away, but it's not.
It comes very fast.
Yeah, it does. In the meantime, if you want to keep talking soccer with us on the news of the transfer windows and all of that, you can do so in our Discord, which you can join by being a member of our Patreon, patreon.com/LGR_network. We have a whole channel in the Discord dedicated strictly to soccer talk. Our friend French Taunter goes in there every once in a while to post about Detroit City FC playing in the USL Championship. Like, you can just post about whatever you want in there, and we'll have a conversation about it. Derek is saying Telemundo is a fun broadcast, even with a language barrier. I would agree with that. Some of the Liga MX stuff I'd watch is fun.
Yeah. Yes. Go, 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 go. I love it.
Yeah. Passion. Snark, where can the people find you?
Find me on the Let's Get Ready Network. Well, not just here on the highlights, but you can follow me here on the highlights. Of course, Starting 11 may be over, but Playoff Beers still going. Hopefully, Ryan and I may have a show coming up very soon. We'll have to talk about round 2 that happened, Adelia, and also
I hated it.
Give our predictions for round 3 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Let's see. Let's Get Ready Network after Snark on the flagship main network. Let's Get Ready Network. Weekends. Last weekend we talked about summer movies, and this weekend we're going to talk about some of the big summer TV shows coming up. Can't wait for that. I'm a big TV guy, as some of you may know. And then you and I, Thursdays on the again Let's Get Ready Network, the Rewatchers Council, our full 144 episode rewatch, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This week, oh boy, this week you got an episode. Ted, Ted's this week. So
It was
hope
an
everybody.
episode.
It was an episode for sure. Everyone can watch us talk about that Thursdays on the network, and then it's the internet, so you can watch it anytime after that.
Yeah, the Rewatchers Council is Thursdays, 3 p.m. Pacific on the Entertainment Channel. Please subscribe to both of our channels. Links to those are in the description of this episode. And if you're watching us on Twitch, give us a follow. We'd really appreciate it. You can find me, as Snark said, on Rewatchers Council. I'll be back on the Open Table soon, I believe. So the Open Table, Thursdays, 8 p.m. Pacific, with me and Ferris. We'll be back soon, maybe with a birthday stream for yours truly. So we will have that going on. And until next season, you guys, we are out.